Have you ever heard someone say, "Don't worry, these are my safe days"? Maybe you've even relied on it yourself. But here's the question. Are safe days truly safe? Or is it one of the biggest myths that could lead to an unexpected pregnancy? Today, we're going to dive deep into the truth about safe days, how they're calculated, whether they actually work, and the risks that most people don't talk about. Stick with me to the very end, because what you're about to learn might completely change the way you look at natural family planning. Before we jump in, make sure you hit the subscribe button, tap the like, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear the truth. And of course, leave me a comment below. I want to know your thoughts and experiences with this topic. So let's begin. First things first, what exactly are safe days? The term safe days is often used to describe the days in a woman's menstrual cycle when the chances of getting pregnant are the lowest. This idea is based on the fact that ovulation, the release of an egg, only happens once during each cycle. If there's no egg available, then technically pregnancy shouldn't happen. But here's where it gets tricky. Our bodies don't always follow the textbook. Most people are taught that a woman's cycle is 28 days long, and ovulation happens right in the middle, around day 14. So, the safe days would be the few days right after a period and the days just before the next one. Sounds simple, right? But here's the catch. Not every woman has a perfect 28-day cycle. In fact, very few do. Some cycles are shorter, some longer, and ovulation can shift based on stress, diet, travel, illness, or even no obvious reason at all. Now, let's talk about sperm. Many people don't realize this, but sperm can survive in a woman's body for up to 5 days. That means if you have unprotected sex a few days before ovulation, the sperm could still be alive and waiting when the egg is released. Suddenly, those so-called safe days don't look so safe anymore, do they? This is why the safe days method is often considered one of the least reliable forms of birth control if used on its own. Studies have shown that when used perfectly, meaning tracking cycles carefully, avoiding mistakes, and understanding fertility signs, it can be up to 95% effective. But here's the reality. Most people don't use it perfectly. In real life, the effectiveness drops to about 75%, or even lower. That means out of 100 couples relying only on safe days, about 25 will end up with an unplanned pregnancy within a year. Now, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to educate you. The truth is, natural family planning, including tracking safe days, can work for some couples. But it requires discipline, consistency, and a good understanding of your body. You can't just guess. You need to know how to track basal body temperature, cervical mucus, and be prepared to avoid unprotected sex during fertile days. So, let's break it down further. The menstrual cycle has 4 main phases. Menstrual phase. This is when bleeding occurs, usually considered the start of the cycle. Follicular phase. This is when the body prepares an egg for release. Ovulation phase. This is the fertile window when an egg is released. Luteal phase. The final part of the cycle, leading up to the next period. Safe days are usually considered to be the days just after menstruation and the days right before the next period. But here's a shocking fact. Ovulation doesn't always come at the same time. In some women, it can happen as early as day 9 or as late as day 21. That's why relying purely on counting days is risky. Another thing to keep in mind is irregular cycles. If your cycle changes from month to month, it's almost impossible to accurately predict your safe days without advanced fertility tracking tools. That's why doctors and health experts often caution against using safe days as your only method of contraception. Now let me ask you this. Do you know someone who got pregnant even though they thought they were on safe days? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear real experiences from you, because so many couples find out the hard way that safe days are not as reliable as they thought. All right, let's talk numbers. According to research, the safe days or rhythm method has a failure rate of about 25% with typical use. That's 1 in 4. Compare that to condoms, which have about a 13% failure rate, or birth control pills, which drop it down to around 7% with typical use. Long-acting methods like implants or IUDs can bring the failure rate below 1%. Clearly, safe days are not the most effective method out there. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the risks, many couples still prefer natural methods like safe days. Why? Because they have no side effects, no hormones, no costs, and no medical procedures involved. For people who want to avoid artificial contraceptives, the safe days method feels more natural and empowering. So do safe days really work? The honest answer is sometimes. They can work if you have regular cycles, if you track your fertility signs very carefully, and if you and your partner are disciplined enough to avoid sex during the fertile window. But if you're just guessing or relying on calendar math, it's more of a gamble than a plan. I want you to think about this. Would you rather gamble with something as important as family planning, or would you prefer a more reliable method? That's a question only you can answer. Let me leave you with a few key takeaways. Safe days can reduce the risk of pregnancy, but they're not foolproof. Irregular cycles, stress, and lifestyle changes can throw everything off. Sperm can live up to 5 days, so timing isn't always exact. If you want to rely on natural methods, combine tracking safe days with other fertility signs for more accuracy. If you've learned something new today, make sure you like this video, share it with someone who needs this information, and subscribe to the channel for more health and wellness content. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Have you ever tried the safe days method, and what was your experience? Remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand your body, the better choices you can make for your health and future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.